What's up, Anamangians? And welcome back. So, I just got finished watching Anna. This is a 2019 action film starring Sasha Lane as a Russian spy turned model who is really trying to get out of a certain bubble that she's trapped in, and that's really the meat of the story here. Starting this off, I really want to make sure that you guys understand that this really isn't a bad film, and it may sound like it is from some of the things that I say, but that's only because the film is being pegged as this answer to the John Wick series or something similar to Atomic Blonde, and it's not really that. As a matter of fact, some of the material, the promotional material for this movie is a little bit misleading in a sense. When I saw the trailer for this film, I was very excited because it showed a very, very long extended action sequence that I thought was incredible. And I was like, wow, this movie has a lot of that in it. This could really be something special. It was only after I saw this movie that I realized that that action sequence was one of the very few that the film actually had. It is not at all a serious action movie. It's more so a movie with a message than anything else. And that might turn a lot of audiences off. And I really think that that's going to hurt the film overall. Again, it's by no means a bad film, and some of the things that it does really, really well. But I do feel like it feels a little empty when it comes to that. So if you're going to see this movie or you're interested because you think it's going to have a lot of action and it's going to be like John Wick or Atomic Blonde or something similar, it's just really light on the action elements for me. I mean, there's definitely some really cool moments and definitely some things that I think that audiences will enjoy. I still found myself to, I still found that I was enjoying myself quite a bit. I just wish that they hadn't made the movie seem like something that it wasn't. I'm not sure why films do this. I guess that they kind of have to get butts in the seats. But with the weekend that Anna's going into, especially going up against Toy Story 4, Child's Play, and some of the other movies that have been out for a while, you would think that they'd be coming out with, guns blazing, so to speak. But I think it's going to hit with a small peep instead of a boom, which is what a movie like this needs. With that being said, I do feel like for Luc Besson, this could be a bit of a return to form for him, mainly because the last film that I saw from Luc Besson was Lucy, and that movie was just not good at all. At least to me, if you go on Rotten Tomatoes, you'll see a lot of critics, I feel like, making excuses for it. And even though I feel like that movie really tried to do something different, it makes you. It defies all logic, and because it defies all logic, you spend way too much time trying to figure out what the logical reasoning could possibly be behind what's happening on screen than actually enjoying the film. This movie you don't have to do that with. It's very fun. It's very light on its feet, even though it is really empty when it comes to action. It makes up for that with story and character development. Anna, for instance, is a very, very interesting, well-developed character. We get a lot of her backstory, and we kind of see how she ended up in the situation that she's in now. And it makes you care for her a little bit more, and what her motivations are make a lot more sense because we see all of this unfolding. And we don't see how she becomes this big assassin, but it's very much implied, and I feel like that's really good. We don't have to see every single thing that happens in her life, just everything that's important and everything that fits within the story that they are trying to tell. All of that boosted by a really, really good performance by Sasha herself. Yeah, she's a model, and you can see that she is still trying to work on becoming a fully formed actress, and that's completely fine. I mean, no one's expecting her to give an Oscar-worthy performance here, but I was actually really impressed with what she brought to the table. She was definitely way more interesting than a lot of other people that she was sharing the screen with. And I'm sure that that's because the movie was written for her, but I really feel like that's because of how comfortable she was with the modeling aspect of the film, and also how comfortable she was with Luc Besson, having had that history with him. And it just seems like she just has a really, really strong presence on screen. And I really enjoyed her performance a lot more than I thought I would. Now, some of her co-stars here, they were, it's kind of a roller coaster as far as what they were able to bring to the table. Helen Mirren was great. I thought that she was a wealthy balance between being comedic relief and being someone who was just really, really interesting. I feel like we definitely could have used a little bit more of her on screen, but the little bit that we got was just really great, and I really enjoyed her performance a lot. Also, Cillian Murphy, who I thought really wasn't going to have a large role, ended up having a much bigger role than I anticipated, and he did wonderful. But again, I feel like we didn't get enough of him on screen, and I feel like if we got just a little bit more of him, of his charismatic attitude and what he brought to that character, I feel like that would have added more to the overall film itself. Luke Evans, unfortunately, seemed to be more of a plot device. He just kind of seemed to be there to add some kind of extra motivation for Anna and what her goals were, and in the end it just kind of fell flat. I'm not really sure what they were trying to do with his character there. He does try to do the best he can with what he's given, but for the most part he's just kind of there. And I really wish that they had given him more to do, because that's a good actor who you don't want to waste. You don't want to just leave him there just doing nothing. And while he did have some entertaining scenes, I just walked away feeling like he didn't really need to be in the movie at all, other than to add to, Anna's issues, so to speak. But other than a really Luke Evans, I feel like they had a serviceable cast. The cast were good with what they had. The action sequences, even though short, were very, very good. There's a scene in the kitchen where Anna needs to take out a guy, and if you've seen the trailer, then you're familiar with this. And that scene is a lot better on the big screen. You get a lot more than that they didn't show in the actual trailer. It's very well choreographed. The camera work is fantastic, and Sasha does a really good job here. She's believable. You also see that strain. You see how tired she gets. Why we couldn't have more of that, I don't know. And we also get another really large action sequence near the end of the film, which I feel was really good. But again, why we couldn't get just a few more of those scenes, I don't think it would have taken away from any messages that the movie was trying to send. But, I feel like a lot of it was put on the back burner. I mean, even looking at the poster for the film, you see a woman in all black, she's standing there with a gun. It just, it gives you a specific idea of the actual film that I don't think that we got. I think that the film kind of gets lost in the messages that it's trying to tell. There are quite a few scenes where Anna is in a situation to kind of take back her power, or show some guy who's boss or something. And while those scenes were enjoyable, they don't really blend well with the rest of the movie. And while these scenes were being put in the film, some of that could have been used for more action related sequences, or more world building, or more storytelling that actually matter. I mean, some of those scenes, even though they were fine, at the end of the movie, you look back and you wonder what that actually had to do with anything at all. Now there are moments when it actually really does matter, but there are moments when it just doesn't. And I feel like that really hurts the film a lot more than I feel they wanted it to. Um, and this is coming from someone who loves a movie with a strong female character who can be strong without being a Mary Sue, okay, and without having a guy to hold on to. She's just strong minded and she's strong willed. And even though that is Anna, you know, there are some moments when some things kind of seem like they're kind of shoehorned in just for the sake of it being shoehorned in. There's also a romance type story that's shoehorned in, it seems like. So there's just a few things that, you know, Anna just doesn't do well. And it definitely takes away from the overall enjoyment of the film. Do I think you should go see it? It depends. If you're completely fine with a movie about a woman who is not happy with her situation and will do anything that she possibly can to get out of it, even if that doesn't include as much action as you were expecting, but you like a good story, you like some good comedic moments, and you love any kind of romance, I think this is a movie for you. If you're going into this movie expecting a crazy action-oriented movie with crazy set pieces and a story that's going to be mind-boggling and everything, I really don't think that you're going to get much out of this. Even though the story does have some twists and turns and it definitely keeps you engaged, you know, it's just not enough there for me to say that it warrants a theater viewing. Now, if this had been released on Netflix, maybe I wouldn't have felt, you know, so disappointed with it, because I would have been like, well, even though it was billed a certain way, it's on Netflix. I feel like it would do great on Netflix, but I don't think that it's theater worthy. And especially, like I said earlier, with it coming out in a packed weekend like this, I don't expect it to do many numbers. The projections are 2 to 4 million for its first weekend. I'm assuming that it's probably going to make less than that, and it's probably just not. It's probably going to go downhill after that. I do think that it's better than Lucy, even though Lucy was more visually stunning. This film definitely had a lot more going for it, and it was a little easier to follow, at least for me personally. So I do think that it's better than that movie, but I still don't think that it warrants a movie ticket from anyone really. Not a bad film by any means, and if you want to go see it, I'm not going to stop you. I just don't think that you'll walk away feeling satisfied. It's a decent film. It has some fun moments, but overall, I think Anna's just going to be a C grade film for me. Did you go see Anna? Do you plan on seeing it this weekend? If you did see it, what did you think? What did you think of those twists and turns in the plot? Did you think that they were surprising? Did you see them coming a mile away? What do you think of Sasha Lush? You think that she has a really interesting future ahead of her when it comes to acting? Or do you think after this film she needs to go back to modeling? And if you do plan on seeing it, what do you think of my review? Does this make you want to go see it even more? Or do you feel like, hey, this is a movie I can skip? Currently, it's at 38% on Rotten Tomatoes. And while I do think that that's a little low, I think it can go up to about 50 because it's kind of half and half. It's half good, it's half bad. You see what they were going for, but they just didn't hit the mark. Not a bad outing for Sasha Lush as far as acting goes, but hopefully the next movie that she gets a movie that's a little bit a little bit better story-wise and structurally. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you have not done so already, go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you can get more content like this, which contains movie news, reviews, and reactions from your boy Derek right here at Anamanji. Don't forget to click that like button, and do not forget to click that bell notification so that you will know when I post again. That's all I have for now. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay dope.
It's quite the fairy tale you got going on here. From top flight model in Moscow to rubbing shoulders with the elite. What was the nature of your relationship with Oleg Filenkov? You entered his hotel at 1:37 p.m. Did you notice anything suspicious?
Like what? Can't you look at the hotel security cameras?
Tapes were erased. Looks like we're dealing with pros.
How did you do that? Your next target is in Paris. There'll be no backup. Any questions?
Which room?
What do you want most in the world?
You'll never make it out of here.
Hi.
What's your name?